What up? Today we have another Bendai figure review. Obviously, a couple days ago I put out the review of a 2004 Toho Mechagodzilla, and that was pretty good. But when I bought that Mechagodzilla, I also purchased this Godzilla, Monsterverse Godzilla, at that same comic book store. So that is what we're going to be looking at today. And even though that Mechagodzilla was a Toho design, this is of course Monsterverse Godzilla, and also going for the price of 40 Canadian dollars. Now, as you know, Bendai figures, I would say in terms of designs, is cheaper because the way they have these figures is just like that, like a stuffy. You would just put a simple tag on the actual figure and that's it. No packaging, no box, nothing. They don't do anything to package these guys. They're supposed to be cheap and accessible. So that is what we're gonna look at today. This is from 2019, so I assume this is King of Monsters Godzilla. So this is not Godzilla vs. Kong. Even though it's the same design, but this is dubbed from the King of Monsters line. So before we look at the figure, let's take a look at the tag here. So here it is for 40 Canadian bucks, and it is by Bendai, of course. Here's the info inside here. Not bad, not bad. And there's the barcode, and then there is all that Japanese text, in which, of course, I don't understand. If you do, translate it in the comments would be greatly appreciated. Now, let's free him from the tag. The last Bendai Godzilla figure I have was Mechagodzilla, ironically, from 2021, from the Monsterverse design. So, I don't really have a lot of Bendai figures. And there is going to be a couple for GXK. I think there will be a Pink Godzilla eventually. There's also a Shimo, Kong, and Skarkin coming. I don't know how I want to feel about these figures. It's that I don't really prioritize these. I literally got this Godzilla because I ran to him at a store. I didn't go out of my way to purchase this. So that leads me to say, is it worth it? Well, when it comes to these figures, these are not really toys. I don't want to classify them as toys because they do have articulation, yes, but it's very minimal, as I'm about to show you. And they're really just there for the collectors. You buy it to display it on the shelf for your favorite Godzilla collection. So, this King of Monsters Godzilla doesn't have enough articulation. Is there good playability? No. Not at all. There's only 2 points of articulation, the arms and the legs. You may think, what about the tail? Nope, there is no articulation at the tail at all. If you try to twist it, you're gonna break the tail, so don't try it. There is no articulation on the head as well. The only bits of articulation comes at the arms right here, as you can see. So you can move the arms up and down, and the legs, you can move it forward and back. That's about it. There is minimal playability when it comes to these Bendai figure, and this Godzilla is no exception. Now, quality of the figure is soft, but doesn't feel cheap, but it's soft plastic. Like, it's not as firm as Playmates toys. Ironically, this is a little bit more pricier than some of the Playmates toys. So that leaves me to wonder, is $40 really worth it for this? Because as you already see, playability is super limited. But what about the actual design? Well, for starters, texture is pretty solid. You can see the texture, the scaliness is pretty done well. Also, the dorsal plates has good coloring. I like the dark blue, a little azure color, and then it just fades into gunmetal gray at the tip. So it looks like he's charging up his breath, but he's not actually about to shoot it. He's just showing his intimidation display, if you want to define it like that. But one thing they do good here is the consistency. It just cuts into the tail and then it slowly fades into full black here. And of course, that was a major complaint I had with the GXK Playmates Godzillas. And so they were able to do that pretty well here. And apart from that, the only other bits of color is just the overall black color scheme. Now, what about his face? Well, his face is pretty good. It doesn't look as cartoony / goofy as I would expect. So it's not too bad. As you can see, The camera can't even focus it, but he's got yellow teeth. He's got the blue eyes, so it's minimal coloring. It's kind of hard to tell, but it's there. It's simple, but it's there. I would say that the dorsal plates are done pretty well in my opinion, so yeah. But apart from that, there isn't really much to discuss about this. As you can see, it took me like 6 minutes to get through everything about this figure. No unboxing, none of that. It's very simple. So is $40 even worth it? Are you willing to pay $40 for this? Personally, I would say the price was a little too high. The Mecha Godzilla was also the same price, but it was smaller than this Godzilla. So yes, I guess scaling wise, it is a little bit more value. However, that doesn't justify its overall price point because the playability is so limited. You just buy this as a collectible. You can't get this as a toy. Don't get this for a kid. They're not gonna have fun with this figure. And if anything, the Playmates toys are far more affordable. So 6 out of 10 is what I'm gonna give this Godzilla. So that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to check out the previous Bendai stuff I've done, such as the Mecha G from this year, what I just put out, as well as the 2021 Monsterverse 1. Check that out as well. For now, thanks for watching. That's all I gotta say. So hit that like button, subscribe, do all the good things, and we'll see you in the next one.